Are the Toronto Maple Leafs about to make a game-changing move before the trade deadline? Recent insider reports suggest that a two-time Stanley Cup champion is ready to waive his no-trade clause, opening the door for a potential swap that could elevate the Leafs' third-line center position. This could be the spark they need for a deep playoff run. Don't miss out on the latest updates. Make sure to subscribe and like this video to stay in the loop with all things Maple Leafs. The Toronto Maple Leafs are gearing up for an exciting stretch as we approach the trade deadline, and the latest buzz suggests a potential move that could shake things up in the lineup. NHL insider Pierre LeBrun has pointed out that Yanni Gourde, the two-time Stanley Cup champion, could be the ideal third-line center the Leafs desperately need. And here's the kicker. Gourde is reportedly willing to waive his no-trade clause to make the switch to Toronto. Now, let's break this down. The Leafs have been active in recent off-seasons, making significant acquisitions like Chris Tanev and Anthony Stolarz. However, one glaring hole remains: the third-line center position. Gourde, who played a pivotal role with the Tampa Bay Lightning when they won back-to-back championships in 2020 and 2021, would bring that playoff experience and grit that the Leafs could greatly benefit from. His style of play is exactly what Toronto needs as they look to make a deep playoff run for the first time in 2 decades. But what does this mean for the team moving forward? Gourde is currently in the final year of his 6-year contract and is set to become an unrestricted free agent this summer. The Seattle Kraken, who claimed him in the expansion draft, haven't engaged in any contract extension talks, which makes him a likely trade candidate as the deadline approaches. With his cap hit over $5 million, acquiring him might require some salary retention, possibly involving a third team in the deal. It's a complicated situation, but one that could pay off big for the Leafs. Imagine Gourde lining up in that third-line center role, providing stability and experience. Currently, he has 15 points in 32 games with the Kraken this season. But what stands out is his physicality: 49 hits and 23 blocked shots. He's not just a scorer, he plays hard on both ends of the ice. This is the type of player that thrives in the playoffs, and let's be honest, that's exactly what Toronto needs as they push for a championship. However, I can't help but feel a bit torn about this potential move. On one hand, Gourde could elevate the team's chances significantly. On the other, what would the Leafs need to part with to secure him? Would it be worth it? This is a crucial moment for the organization, and the decisions made now could define the future of the franchise. Are they truly ready to go all in? And let's not forget about the recent struggles of rookie Fraser Minten, who was sent back down to the AHL. Gourde represents a clear upgrade, one that could bolster the depth the Leafs desperately need. The playoff landscape is unforgiving, and adding a player with Gourde's pedigree could be the difference maker. So I want to hear from you, Leafs Nation. What do you think about the possibility of bringing Yanni Gourde to Toronto? Do you believe this is the right move for the team? I'm genuinely conflicted here, and I want to know your thoughts. Share your expectations, your frustrations, and your hopes in the comments below. I can't help but feel a mix of excitement and apprehension. The talk of Yanni Gourde potentially being available from the Seattle Kraken has sparked a lot of conversation among fans and analysts alike. Pierre LeBrun has thrown the Leafs into the mix as a possible destination for Gourde, and honestly, it's hard not to get a little hopeful. Gourde is a 2-time Stanley Cup champion, and that pedigree is something the Leafs could really use as they gear up for the playoffs. His ability to perform under pressure is crucial, especially considering the playoff struggles we've faced in recent years. The fact that he plays a gritty, playoff-style game is a perfect match for what we need on our third line. This isn't just about bringing in another player, it's about making strategic moves that could elevate our chances of going deep into the postseason. Now there's some uncertainty regarding whether the Kraken will actually make Gourde available. They could very well decide to keep him around, especially since they opted to re-sign Jordan Eberle instead of trading him. But if they do decide to move him, it sounds like Gourde would be open to coming to Toronto, which is a huge plus. Imagine having a player who not only fits our needs, but also wants to be here. That's a rare combination in this league. Let's talk numbers for a minute. Gourde has 5 goals and 15 points in 32 games this season. It's a decent stat line, but what's more telling is his career high of 64 points when he was with the Lightning. The Leafs are looking for depth, and acquiring Gourde could provide that much-needed boost. It's likely we'd have to give up a solid draft pick or a prospect to get him, especially if the Kraken retains some of his salary. The question is it worth it? For me, it's a gamble that could pay off big time. Adding a player like Gourde, who has both the experience and the tenacity, could transform our playoff prospects. But let's be real. This isn't just about the immediate impact, it's also about the future. If there's a chance Gourde would be willing to sign long-term with the Leafs, that changes the game entirely. We're not just looking at a rental here. We're potentially adding a key piece to our roster for years to come. But I have to ask, is this the right direction for the team? I'm honestly torn. On one hand, acquiring a player of Gourde's caliber could be the catalyst we need to finally break through the first round. On the other hand, we need to be cautious about how we allocate our resources. It's a fine line, and as fans we can feel the weight of these decisions. So what do you think? Should the Leafs make a move for Gourde? Is he the answer to our playoff woes? I really want to hear your thoughts. Drop your opinions in the comments below. Let's discuss the implications this could have on our lineup and our chances moving forward. And before I wrap up, don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown. Share it with your fellow Leafs fans and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the latest updates. Trust me, you'll want to stay in the loop as we navigate through this exciting season. And remember to activate that notification bell to catch all the news as it drops. Go Leafs!